You can make people react in certain way when you know their information. Today, the most valuable thing that you can have is no gold, is no diamonds, is no money. And the hackers got through there, jumped to the Wi-Fi of the casino, and they took, I don't know how many $1 million. Job is to bring people from the 12th century to the 21st century. I thought he was kidding at that time. He wasn't.
And then you pull your Brahmastra and then you explain them how easy it is and you get the trust.
So today, AI has leveled the playing for everybody. Everybody can be a musician, a writer, a poet, an engineer, a hacker, just with a prompt. On language, on religion, they are hacking each other. All that money that we pay for cybersecurity goes to the garbage in seconds.
Perfect. Welcome to this show, CTO Story. Today's our guest is Dr. Sanchez, who've been being a CIO, CTO, CISO, MD again, the doctor, and they've
Yes.
been in this more than 26 plus years in this industry. Welcome to the show, Sergio.
Nishant,
Yeah, thank you so much for joining this.
Nishant, thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here with everybody in your podcast. And yeah, let's start.
Great. So let's begin with your little bit story, where you started, what you are doing currently, and a bit of your journey. I'm so it's when I hear first time from you, I was so excited, and I was like, oh my gosh, doctor, engineer, you did a lot. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So this is interesting. Yeah, I am Dr. Sergio Sanchez. I am a medical doctor until I came to United States 30 years ago. So as you see, yeah, I have a doctor in the title. I am medical doctor by the University of Mexico, where I never thought moving to United States until I met an American woman. I fall in love and I moved to United States. And that was 30 years ago. And coming to United States, thinking that I was be able to continue my medical career, I discovered that sadly wasn't the case. That to get a license to practice medicine here, I had to basically go back to school for 8 years. So at that time, I don't know if it has changed, but at that time, you have to present 3 different exams, and it's one per year. After passing those exams, you are able to apply for a resident program. And in my case, like a surgeon, was 5 years. So basically, it was start from scratch again. So with a baby coming in his way, living in Manhattan and needing a better job, one day I went to my bicycle and went to Columbia University. And I told them the problem that I was having. And they told me, well, you have 2 options. One is go back to medical school, which is very expensive and time consuming, or try something new that you can do in a couple of years, get a title of everything, a diploma, and that would be great. Like, okay, what is my options? Like, or what do you like beside medicine? And I love computers. I think I touched my first computer when I was around 14, 15 years old. That was my father's computer in his office. He was an architect. And I remember they have a Apple IIe computer.
Very interesting.
And one day that I went, I accompanied him for something to his office. His assistant asked me, "Hey, do you want to see this new thing that we have at the office?" Like, "Oh, what new thing?" Like, yeah, come with me. So she sat me in front of this weird amber color monitor with a keyboard that has more keys than my typewriter at home. And she started the computer, and put a game, and the game was Space Invaders.
Mm.
And in that moment, at the moment that I touched the keyboard, I fall in love with that.
Love it.
So I start to save money to buy my own computer, which was a Commodore 16. Not even the 64, the 16, one before. And of course, at that time, video games were not every day like normally is now, that every single week you have a new video game coming out. At that time was one every 2 years, maybe.
Mm.
So getting bored of the video games that I already had playing, I tried to start figuring out how video games were made.
Mm.
So what is this thing called programming? What is this thing called BASIC, COBOL, Pascal, Fortran? So I start to learn it like another language, and I start making my own video games, and I start to get fun. So with the time, my father started notice that I like computers, and later, years later, he called me and says, "Hey, can you help us installing this new thing called mainframe and dumb terminals?" Like, what is that?
Mm.
So he got me these books that came with that operating system called Novell.
Mm.
And I started learning about it, and I started to, getting coaxial cable and putting together something called a token ring configuration in the computers. That
Mm.
is, somebody disconnect the cable, everybody lost the connection.
Love it. Love it.
And so, but that was just a hobby. And I told Columbia, I told the people there, like, well, I like computers. I enjoy doing this. And they told me, well, we are having a new program for computer science, and we think you will be good for that. Perfect. So they took my credits from medical school, plus my credit card too. I guess the credit card was more important. And years later, I became master in computer science. My first job was with the tobacco company, Philip Morris. I was an analyst there until 9/11. Sadly, living in Manhattan, September 11 was not very good. And we decided to move out of there. I was looking for a job upstate New York, where my in-laws lives. And it was this little company called Vicarious Visions, and was a video game company that just started uh, not too long, 2000, by two brothers that somebody, sponsored them to start creating video games. I was number 26 in the company. Uh, they didn't have anything related to technology at the moment. Basically, it was friends making video games. So everybody was using their own computers. The network wasn't ideal. No really servers, nothing. And they make a mistake. Somebody erased the assets of a game that they were making. The game actually was Spider-Man, Enter Electro for the Game Boy. And they noticed that, yeah, we need somebody that knows about computers. We need somebody that can help us with this. So I got the job there, and I was with them for 16 years. Funny part here is 2 years after, that studio got acquired by Activision Blizzard, the biggest video game company in the world.
Yeah.
So my name is in around 60 video games credits. Skylanders, yeah, the Skylanders, Destiny, Guitar Hero. You can name Call of Duty.
Love it.
So some of those games, and sadly, in the video game industry, sometimes they suffer downsizing for the good of the company. And at that time, after 16 years working for them, I went to work for Apple. And in Apple, I was in charge of the Genius Bar in New York State. And the interesting part there was the title that I got. I was the senior lead genius. So when the people used to ask me, so what are you doing in Apple?
Yeah, what is
I
that?
was so I was so scared to say, well, I'm a genius. So no, my mother was right, but no. Uh, so working for them was extremely rewarding. Was great. The biggest, technology company in the world, but also was no balance of, personal life and work.
Yeah, I mean,
It's extremely, demanding. So uh, I decided to start looking for something related to medicine, my field, and technology. And I started working for companies related to health, life science, healthcare, and that's why it has been part of my life. Um, Also, I work for the Catholic Church here in United States for the Franciscan friars. Uh, and that is actually something very interesting. Working for them, um, they were the most peculiar end users I ever have in my life. They opened my eyes to a lot of things that is happening in the world, and I will tell you why. You and me, and probably a lot of people here in this podcast, they use a computer or a smartphone like a tool to do your job. Send and receive emails, communications, documents, etc., etc. Basically, now is a portable computer. Uh, but I want you to imagine that my end users in the Catholic Church, some of them were people that never use a phone or never use a computer.
mm,
Now the Rome and the Pope and the highest Franciscan friar there want them to bring them to the 21st century. And actually, I remember when I signed the contract, one of the friars, actually one of the priests, my boss in New York, told me, "Your job is to bring people from the 12th century to the 21st century." I thought he was kidding at that time. He wasn't.
was it tough?
So the what?
Was it tough?
Was tough because imagine, just to give you an example, we have a group of people. We have a help desk over there, and one day, two of the guys in the help desk called me and says, "Hey, we surrender. We cannot do this."
Mm,
What happened? Like, well, we have a ticket about a priest that doesn't know how to answer his new cellular phone.
mm,
And I'm like, okay, how hard that can be, right? Don't worry, I personally will call him and explain him and do whatever I can to teach him. So I call the priest. The priest, around 79 years old, didn't understand the concept of the touch screen in the phone.
mm.
So I called him in his line. Meanwhile, he was using the phone, the cellular. And, I was telling Father, when I am calling you, in the bottom of your phone, you will see a bar. You have to slide your finger from, left to right.
Yeah.
Just to make this short, took me around 47 minutes for him to
Wow.
finally, because he was pressing it, he was holding the finger. You can imagine all the options.
Makes sense.
So finally, he figured it out. And then I start calling him for him to practice. I remember he saying, like, "Oh my God, you have the patient of a saint.
Mm.
You will go to heaven." And I told him, "Father, if you are going to heaven too, I will stay here." He was laughing too. Like, oh my God, because that will not be heaven. But,
Oh my
experience
God.
like that,
Makes
experience with people that never touch a phone. Also, I discovered that they were very, very naive in what they were doing online.
mm,
So I have friars that, at least one, that he sent money to the famous Nigerian prince. because he really believed was a guy in having problems, that he was kidnapped. And actually, I remember seeing the logs, the emails, and says like, no, don't worry, you don't have to send me the money back. I want to help you, blah blah blah. So whoever scammers was probably like a wow, and he sent around $15,000.
Wow.
And of course, in the moment that you buy a Amazon car and you pass the information, is the way to get that money back.
Yeah. No, I think I get it. I think so. You've been in the journey of explaining fathers how to use mobile. You've been from medical industry. You've been helping people. Tell me a little bit more about how a pure technical person thinks and what is you have leverage where you know the medical science and the technology both. How
So
how you think differently?
I have to tell you, this is interesting about my medical field. Make me treat the computers and the systems like they are patients. So I remember in the beginning of my career, diagnosis the problem, troubleshooting was extremely good things for me to do. Uh, so I can tell you, I remember coming to my office, seeing what was my emails, answer my emails, and then start walking all around the office, asking each one of the people, how's the computer working today? How everything is going? How is the speed of the network? Do you have any port? Was kind of like when you are in a hospital and you stop like a 10 minutes with every patient to see how they are doing. So I discovered doing that myself.
Good.
So also one of the things that um, happened is I was the translator of very high level concepts to very easy to understand. And I will tell you why. Uh, I think that's priority. So everybody in the technical world, everybody in the technology field, us, sadly, we speak a different language. And what I mean with this, everybody can speak English or Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, whatever you want. But then us, the technical people, we have a second layer of communication.
Mm.
So, and this is funny. I have to visit a lot of churches in United States. I think I fly in 1 year over 42 times. Yes. So in you mean by yeah,
Almost like once in a week.
once in a week. Yes, actually, the people, the security people in the airport in Cleveland, they knew me by name. I'm not kidding you. I don't know if it was good or bad, but they knew me. And the funny part here is sometimes I was going with my another counterpart, the chief information officer. And we used to talk about, why we're doing this, why we want the priesthood now to be online and what is the advantages. And when we have to explain how to use MFA, multiple factor authenticator, my friend Edgar, the CISO number two, he is an amazing guy. He's great. He's a genius in what he does, but he's very technical. And you can see after he tried to explain in a technical way what was MFA, the faces of all the priests, all the fathers was like a what? They couldn't understand. So I discovered that when you start to talk to people that don't have nothing to do with technology in a very technical jargon, did you set it up your router correctly? Is your IP address the correct one? Are you using a VPN to connect to that HTML site?
They don't. Yeah.
They don't have it. And they start having some aversion to technology. And why that is important for us in the technical world, where doesn't matter how much a company pay for cybersecurity, if somebody that doesn't have any idea about technology receive an email and click the wrong link and put his username and password, all that money that we pay for cybersecurity goes to the garbage in seconds. And if you think about it, talking from the CISO point of view, uh, we know the technical requirements to harden, to secure a network, a computer is, in 40 years that we have computers at home, more or less, we are able to be sure how to secure our systems. Antiviruses, firewalls, VPNs, all this stuff. But it's still the human issue. The person is the one that is getting hacked, not the computers, not the systems. If you think about the movies in Hollywood, how they portray a hacker, which is the guy with a hoodie, with a mask of that.
We need to talk more about that as well. Yeah.
So if you think about it, those are very few in reality. Why? Because they need to be extremely good with computers, know every protocol, probably know a lot of different languages, how the computers communicate, how you can brute force, a system. All this that requires years and years of, learning. Plus, also you have to be very good in that. You have to be basically a genius. And those people, they are there, they are in the world, but they are going more for the reward of, I hacked the FBI, I hacked the Pentagon, I hacked the CIA. It's more like a accolade of, I did that. Did you stole anything? No, I just got inside and showed them that I am able to do it. Okay. But the big bulk of all these threat actors, I don't want to call them hackers because they are not anymore. All these threat actors are going for the money. So they are going to see the biggest amount of people that they can defraud, that they can lie and con, because that is what is the reward, is the money. If you put together all these threat actors and make a country with all of them, that country will be the third richest country in the world at this moment.
Very interesting.
So United States, China, and then these hackers or these threat actors.
Really? And are they all around the world? Or is it like
all around the world? Yes, people, North Korea, China, Russia, and I'm talking about these ones that are no state sponsor. I'm talking about the guys that are creating call centers in Myanmar, in Cambodia, in Laos, in all that Southeast Asia locations. So that is the big problem that we have today.
Makes sense.
We need to teach the people in every single company what is the risk. And the big problem that we have sometimes is that they separate the personal life with their company life. Oh, at home is okay. I don't care about going to that website. Oh, at the office I have to, because if not, they will fire me. So it's some fear to doing things at the office level,
Very interesting.
but not at home. The big problem today is in your personal phone, you can have both accounts. You can have your personal account and you can have your company account, which now the border between the personal life and the office life is getting blurry.
It is.
Or not existent anymore.
That's true.
So hackers get into your phone, see that also you have things in, oh, I can get into his office, and they do it too. So we need to teach the people that everything now is so entangled that something can happen in your personal life will affect your company life. Not only that, again, we have now more, I would say, 40 years that the internet is there. Actually, I am pre-internet. I used to use BBS systems, that you connect your landline and the weird sounds come in, and then American line that all that sounds, which people probably don't understand today. But the internet is now engulf everybody. Even when I talk to people and says, hey, I don't have Facebook, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Twitter or X or whatever they call it, I don't have it. You don't need to. Why? Because even if you fill a form by hand, walk to the bank or walk to whatever thing you go to give that, somebody that is receiving it is typing that in a computer, is digitalizing that. So now maybe you didn't do it, but somebody is putting your information online.
That's true.
You buy a house, you buy a car, it's there. So yes, you have a presence in the internet. It's several websites there that you can type your username or your email address and tell you all these websites where your information is kept. Even if you never hear about those websites.
That's true.
So that's a problem. Another problem is, the reuse of passwords. You think that you have a great password and you use the password for everything.
Easy to
And the hacker just needs one time and start checking everything. So things like that you have to teach the people.
Makes sense. I think I know the analogy that what I understood from this question and answer is the people could be genius technically, but if you are not able to make it understandable to other person, it doesn't work at all, right? I mean, and the people are still, they are figuring out, they are not able to, hackers are easy hacking the password and those things. So I think that's where rather than technology, the awareness and adoption is required. And that's where I think, doctor, you are the best one who is working, and you are running a couple of podcasts as well for that. Yeah. So I love the energy. Tell a little bit more about how you entered in the cybersecurity and when, and what was like a flip point, and then you said, the cybersecurity is the one that I need to pick, because you started. I understand completely. You are coming from the doctor. One is
Medical field.
what is the medical doctor. You understand how the nerve system of the body works, and similar, it should help you to understand the networking part, the main, the core part of the computer, and then the computer science itself. Help me to understand like what bring you inside the cybersecurity, and try to connect with the medical and the health and the body part as well. Right? Try to put together the analogy that the people can understand.
So I have to tell you, again, being a doctor, and always since I was 6 years old, I think they asked me what you want to be when you grow up, and I says I want to be a doctor. So I discovered that actually what I want to do is taking care of people that can be, a health problem, or in this case, a technical problem. So my approach is always to help. That is my nature. And, with the mind that I cannot practice medicine in the United States officially, but I can help people that helps people to get better. In this case, that's why I'm working here in the healthcare industry. I feel like indirectly I'm helping those people to help directly the patients. So that is step number one. Step number two is, yes, I try to translate with analogies how this computer system works and how reflect, again, to the human body, or how reflect to everyday experience that the people has. I'm going to give you an example that actually I give to the priesthood that they didn't understand. So what is a computer? What is a program? And I told them, okay, all of you guys cook. You like to cook. Okay. I want you to think that your kitchen is your computer. So the stove is your processor. Is the CPU, is the thing that is going to prepare and do the food for you. Your pantry is your hard drive, where you are keeping all the ingredients that you need to cook. And then you have your kitchen table, which is your RAM, where is going to take things from the pantry, put it in the table, cut it, clean it, uh, seasoning, whatever you do in that table. And then you take that and put it in the stove and you process it. And after that, you have the result and you eat it. Now, some people has computers that become slow with the time. And the explanation is, well, what about if you are making this huge, huge dinner for a lot of people and you have almost your pantry full for that event, but your kitchen table is small. So you have to take things from the pantry, prepare whatever you put in your table, but then you don't have the space to keep cooking. So you take things from the table now and put it back in the pantry, take another one. So now is this go from the pantry to the table and the table to the pantry is taking longer time for you to cook.
Yeah.
So that's why the computer gets slow. If I buy more RAM or make the table bigger, so now I have to go to the pantry less times.
No,
So with that analogy, now they understand more or less how a computer works. So as you can see, I tried to put that in a context that they completely understand.
true. But what bring you into cybersecurity, or what was the
Oh,
turning point? Yeah.
so as you now know, I have since the 80s doing computers. And at that time, be a hacker was a cute thing to do. Like, oh, look, the cute kid. And then you start reading, news about one of the most famous hacker in the world that was Kevin Mitnick. And save, keep me free, keep me Kevin. And that was like, oh my God, so I can connect to another computers and see what is inside those computers. Nothing evil, nothing thinking that you was able to uh, cause any damage. That came years later with somebody else, but in the beginning, that hacking, the word hacking was really how I can make this system, this device, this process better, or what else I can get out of this device. I know that this device, by example, funny part here, people had experienced an iPhone. And in the beginning, when the iPhone came out, was something called jailbreak. And people used to put very special operating system, mostly in Android devices, that allowed them to do things that the official operating system was not able to do.
True.
So they were able to tinkering with that. So that was also something that I learned. I mean, that curiosity opened a lot of things. But then you start hearing in the beginning, the love note, I remember that virus, and the Michelangelo one too. Or the first one that I remember was the little ball jumping in the screen, didn't do anything bad, but was annoying, things like that. And I start thinking, well, what about the people start to use this for evil? How we can defend ourselves, how I can protect. So I start learning how to protect myself, which later on start to be translated to, I'm working for this company. I wonder if they have a firewall. What is a firewall? All right. So I'm sure, in the video game industry, is people out there that they want to have the newest games that are not even released yet or take a peek of what is there. So let's try to block those connections. I have to tell you, when I put that in place, I had to go every Monday at 4 o'clock in the morning to the office to open a hole in the firewall for people in Russia. uh, our company, Vicarious Visions, we used to contract third-party people to make the cut scenes, the videos that are in between, the gameplay, to Russia, to a company in St. Petersburg. And of course, for them in the morning, for me, 4 o'clock in the morning was like at 2 o'clock for them in the afternoon. And I have to go, every Monday, wake up very early in the morning, go to the office, open manually the firewall at that time. I'm talking about 2000, 2001, something like that, for them to be able to come in, retrieve or download or upload whatever they needed, and then close it again, come back home, take a nap again, and come back for 9 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
So yes, I didn't like it very much.
So what
But
I understood, the curiosity bring you to cybersecurity, and the knowledge, the more you know about computer, the you know like, okay, the bad actors are going to act on this, and that bring you like, okay, oh my gosh, I need to protect this. Let me learn more about the cybersecurity, and then you started learning more and more, and now you are educating people. Okay, love it. Now you are right now currently serving simultaneously as a CIO, as a CTO, and as a CISO as well at the corporate Valve service, right?
e- everything at the same time, the
Yeah,
three
so
hats.
and that is one of the Ohio's largest behavioral healthcare network, right? I mean, so most organizations have ideally all three are different roles, but you are managing all together as a one person. What does
Yes.
funding you all three simultaneously actually look like? Definitely, it's a difficult thing, you know. I mean, you are handling all three all together. So tell me, like, what breaks first when one person carries this all responsibility at the same time? Is it like you have to spend more time? Is it like you have to be cautious? What exactly breaks the first thing in your mind?
Well, again, I coming from a time where the CIO was the everything, was the CISO, was the CTO, and that it has been continued. Of course, now you pay to, and I will tell you, AI is going to be a nightmare for the CISO, no matter the company. But because now we have more attack surfaces than before,
Mm.
human and non-human. But let me tell you. So try to balance these three positions in the healthcare industry. I think the security, cybersecurity is the one that take most of the time now.
Mm.
But it's no in a year. Sometimes one is higher, sometimes one is lower. Now, sadly, with the attack of United States first to Venezuela and then to Iran, the cyber attacks has increased in general. And finance enterprises and healthcare is mostly the ones they attack.
Data, yeah.
In the healthcare industry, we have a bad disadvantage. The first one is we keep a lot of information from the patients, names, date of birth, social security numbers, finance information, credit cards, insurance companies, all that. So we're primary target for that. But also for ransomware is something that, when somebody attacked you, and this happened in Londres, in London, in England, probably like 3 years ago, I think so, something like that. Uh, Hackers got into a hospital system and ransomware was installed. And I don't remember how much millions of pounds they require for, the ransom. But when the life of a patient is in place, when you don't know what medication, or you don't know if they change the medication, when you don't know the surgery, like, okay, is the left or the right kidney, or things like that, and you have to come back to do everything by hand and paper again. And now you have thousands of people in the emergency room waiting for service. It's something that how much money we need to pay. I know that we don't deal with these people, with these terrorists, but hey, I cannot have the chance of my patient dying.
That's true.
So here is the money. So that's the problem with our companies. It's not only the finance problem, but also is the life threatening problem. And we were going to talk about AI. I have to tell you that actually I live right now in a love and hate relationship at the same moment with AI.
Mm.
Love for all the incredible thing does, which also sadly I think today is a marketing slogan. You always hear the free fat, free gluten. Now will be free AI. Everything has AI. I always says, is this guy that you don't want to invite to the party, but you discover when you open the door of your house, he is already sit down at the table and he's eating the cake already. So he's there no matter what. You don't have idea how many calls, how many emails I get from vendors offer me something with AI. And even products that you already have, Adobe, ServiceNow, cybersecurity, whatever you want, Huntress, Arctic Wolf, Palo Alto. Now they have also AI included. So everything now comes with AI.
Makes sense.
And AI is not yet thinking, but people are assuming that it's thinking. And I love it. I come back because I can make a summary of my emails. I can make a summary of a contract that we need to sign. We can make presentations that before take you 5 hours to make, between finding the source, finding the pictures, choosing the colors, looking for the fonts. Now you ask ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or any one of these ones to make it for you and do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 3. So it's saving time.
Makes sense.
You have always to check the final answer, of course. But the scary part for me is coming from 2 parts. The first one is this is an amazing tool, but also it's an amazing tool for threat actors. So I tell you that I don't want to call them hackers anymore. And it's because of this. So today, AI has leveled the playing for everybody. Everybody can be a musician, a writer, a poet, an engineer, a hacker, just with a prompt. How do I do this? I told you that I have my own podcast, that they are mostly directed to people that don't like technology. So it's people that are allergic to technology. So I was thinking how I can engage these people, how I can make them have fun meanwhile they hear about the problems of technology and how resolve it and what is what. And I said, well, I'm going to make funny songs and funny fake commercials. And again, my wife says that knocking the door, I'm off tone. So I cannot play music to save my life. So I go to the internet. I found a website that makes music. I just tell what is about the song that I want the AI to write. And oh my God, it's great. Actually, I have people asking me if I can make an album. like, so it's interesting because now I engage people in that way too. And I don't know about music, zero. And I'm making music. Can I call it me, or I can make it like, oh, I'm making a cheating? I don't know yet. That is something that the ethical and moral will tell us later. But at this moment, is leveling the plane for everybody.
Makes sense.
So the scary part here is, yes, you can be a kitty hacker, which is guys that used to buy the programs to hack already from the dark web normally. But now you don't need to go to the dark web. You can get a computer, AI, to show you how to hack somebody or so.
Tell me, this is very direct. Tell me a little bit more about the dark web. I mean, is it a website?
You can get to the dark web. The internet is divided in 3 parts.
Yeah, tell me a little bit. What is dark web, first of all? In normal language, how to access that? And what you can
So
find there?
I'm going to tell you this. So we have the internet that everybody knows. And the internet is basically it's a roads, it's a freeways, it's highways, it's just paths that communicate computers with computers. But this system of roads, these ways, these roads, has different levels. It's not everything that we see in the internet going to a website is what is. You have the deep web, which is what your office is no out there. Nobody can get into your company email or company information. You have to be in your office, or you have to have a VPN to connect to that computer or that system. So that is the deep web. It's not things that are indexed for the public. But then you have another label, which is the dark web, that you can only get there through a very specialized browser. That is called the Tor browser or Onion browser, which is, you have a onion and you are peeling it, has different layers.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea for everybody that is not technical, imagine that you want to call your friend across the street. You call it using his phone number. You dial a number and connect to him. And now he can see in the ID caller, oh, Nishan is calling me, or your number show up. So now you know from where that call is there. And the telephone company probably knows, because they give you at the end of the month, like who you call, who called you, blah, blah, blah. They give you an information. So imagine that now you want to buy something bad from your friend. And if you call him directly, now is the risk that that information is kept somewhere. But what about if instead to call your friend directly, now you call somewhere else, somewhere else, somewhere else, somewhere else, and now you are doing millions of jumps to finally get to his house. So probably you are, just across the street, but before you call him, you make a call around the world several times, to the point that at the end is so many locations that is, for a human, impossible to determine which one is the one that is the real one that is coming. So that has helped people to do evil things.
But does that mean they have a number or they don't have a number?
Well, that number can change all the time, which is part of how originally the dark web was created, like a way for people to express information in places that are not allowed. So the dark web was created, by example, for reporters in North Korea to be able to tell the people around the world what was happening in North Korea without fearing that somebody there will discover, hey, he's spilling the beans against our government. We need to, detain him at least, or kill him. So that was the reason was created, not for evil purposes. Sadly, somebody discovered, like, hey, I can sell weapons, I can sell drugs, I can sell. Was very famous here, the Silk Road was the name of one of those websites that sadly you can find the worst of the human nature: child pornography, hitmans, killers for hire, hackers specialized to hack things, fake documentation, people that was able to make you passports or birth certificates, things like that. So this actually became a big problem. And because I was telling you before, we are so interconnected now with the internet that whatever happened in Timbuktu will reflect across the world in question of seconds.
Yeah.
So communication and information, we thought that was great. Sometimes it's not that great. Sometimes in the bad hands become pretty dangerous. Today, the most valuable thing that you can have is no gold, is no diamonds, is no money. It's information.
That's true.
Because if you have the information, you can have all that.
True. So this information brings me to the next question is, Right now, it's 700 facilities and 40% of the breaches that you reduced, right? So what I mean by that, right? I mean, you've been working at, let's say, like in this healthcare system, right? You manage IT infrastructure across 700 plus care hospital long term, right? I mean, and this facilities you across the 50 states already, and it is not easy to handle them. And then
No,
you reduce 40% breach using AI security protocol. How
yeah.
you did it? To tell me a little
Well,
bit more on that.
thanks to God, I have a MSSP provider, which is, a company that help us with the cybersecurity. I don't know if I can mention the name, which I became very good friends of the people there. Actually, I am co-host of one of the vice presidents that I tell you that I used to work also for the FBI, David Morrow, also writer, very good. And we tried to figure it out the easiest way to be safe, which is impossible. Sadly, in this world of cybersecurity, we play the mouse and cat game all the time. And most of the time, we are the mouse. So you have to always uh, try to guess what will be the next move of the threat actors. I'm going to tell you, we have an episode that we were talking about how threat actors, hackers, got into a casino in Las Vegas and they were able to hack the system and was through a aquarium, a fish tank.
Wow.
In the lobby of this casino, they have a beautiful, huge fish tank, seawater tank. And the thermometer and the heater and the pump, everything like that, was connected to the Wi-Fi. And somebody forgot to put a password in the thermometer. So it has the standard out of the box password. And the hackers got through there, jumped to the Wi-Fi of the casino, and they took I don't know how many $1 million through the fish tank.
I cannot
So
believe that. Having to be, this is like,
right now here in United States, we have an issue with a company called Flock.
okay.
This company provide the cameras above the traffic lights, the stop signals, to check your license plate and see who is, breaking the law and running a red light, things like that. But the big problem there, and it's I think like a 600,000 of these cameras in the United States and in other countries, is that in most of these cameras, somebody forgot after installing the camera to reset the standard password too.
Password, yeah.
So you can go underneath one of these cameras with your phone connected via Wi-Fi to the camera, get into the camera system, and also see the another cameras around.
Wow. Because
So
they
if
are
you
like,
can,
yeah.
now you can see, and you are not a cop, you are not a policeman, but now you can see another cars, you can see who is passing at the same time every day. You can see, you can hear now. Suppose they have a sensor to determine here in the United States, everybody has guns. So if the camera detect a gun, send a message to the closest police station to, hey, I hear shots here, being the look. So, but now also they can hear what you are talking. So it's becoming a privacy issue. And now it's a bunch of people, it's groups that they are going and destroy the cameras. So it's happening now in the United States. So privacy is also changing, as you can see.
Very, 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 very
It,
interesting.
if you read the book 1984, the Big Brother is kind of becoming a reality too.
Okay, wow. I mean,
Yeah.
so but while you are working this, I mean, this is very interesting case of the camera. I mean, this is I cannot imagine like what could be done with the camera and listening and full the access. I mean, this is a- and the only problem is default password. I mean, that's the I mean, wow. So doesn't this include in the hip? So you've been working in this for healthcare industry, you have gone through HIPAA compliance, you're going through the GDPR and all religious, you can think of ethical compliance at the, I think you've been working at the Franciscan friars
Yeah.
before and during this, all the compliance as well, and state behavioral health regulations simultaneously across your
I,
country.
I- yes, actually, for working for them, not only the United States regulation like HIPAA, but because some of them were in Italy or somewhere in Europe or in another parts of the world, they have to. We need to learn also about GDPR, which is the one in the European Union. And these same kind of rules, even if they are not commanding you to apply, we need to apply it to every country in the world.
Mm.
In that way, we can keep safe the information, mostly for patients and even medical doctors that is there too. So all that information is vital. And like I tell you in the beginning, information right now is the most valuable commodity that we have. You can make people react in certain way when you know their information. Sadly, also all this information can be misleading. In 2010, we have sadly problems in Myanmar, was people killing each other because Facebook was putting this post online entitling the people over there to read and get upset with another group of people.
Mm.
So is the fault of the executives in Facebook or is the algorithms? And right now, actually, yesterday, I think Facebook has to pay millions of dollars. I think I was reading around over $600 million to people that this doom scrolling that they call got affected by physically and mentally. Uh, and yes, Facebook and Instagram make the money the longer you stay online with them.
True.
The first case that happened was a girl, I think she was 16 years old, or yeah, around that time, that he has to pay $6 million because she got so hooked of Instagram that she spent 16 hours per day scrolling. 16 hours per day, that's 2 shifts for work.
16 hours?
16 hours. And, she was losing weight, got, a bully online, all this stuff that actually cause her mental issues.
Sure.
So, yes. And the problem here is that they discovered that Facebook has internal emails, that they knew what they were doing, that they contract psychologists to create this design that you scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll forever.
True.
And again, because the longer you scroll, the more money is for them.
That's true.
Also, sadly, talking about information, Facebook, the vast majority of the advertising in there is fake.
Mm.
You buy something and they get your money, your bank account, your credit card account, and you never see the product, and you start looking at your credit card getting charges.
Ah.
And they know that.
Mm.
But because if they avoid that, if they says no to these people, they were going to be losing 5% profit, which was a big no-no. So they are putting money over people.
Oh, transactions of each. Yeah. This is very, so this brings me to like, I'm sure as a doctor, this all the cases of mental health comes to doctor, right? Or that's a psychiatrist or doctor. Doctor also, now you work with clinical and doctors.
Yes.
Doctors knows technology can harm. You work with doctors, say, please adopt technology. This is complicated. Like this is going all around circle, circle. How have you handled that? How you make sure to inform doctor and clinical process and all the people in the healthcare trust the technology? I'm sure there is always like no trust issue. How you handle that? Is
So I have,
it's so CTO.
I have to tell you, it's funny because also it's generational. Like doctors that are more or less my age, it's harder sometimes to convince that the new tool, the new technology is going to help them. I know a lot of doctors that they want to continue do the same kind of process that they do since they start being a doctor 40 years ago. The new young doctors coming out of the university and schools, medical schools, are easier to connect with technology because they live every day with technology. They use the technology not only in the medical field, but also in their personal life. And they do the translation pretty easy. They are easier to adopt. And think about this. When you grow up with something that is common, is normal, is an everyday instance, the light switch.
True.
When in the beginning of the 20th century, in the 1920s, 1910s, people, rich people, start to have electric power at home, and they have the switch. I bet they were, oh my God, if I move this thing, everything lights up. If I turn it off, everything lights. And they were probably playing like crazy, like, oh no, and inviting friends, like, let me show you, and open and today, you go start your office and turn on without thinking about it. It's a common thing. It's like you see that every single day in your life. So that for them is AI technology is going to be a normal everyday thing. Question for you. In the past, probably you use Google. And Google, the name of this company, became also a verb. Hey, do you know that? No, but let me Google it.
Let me Google it. Yeah.
So it's question of time that now, hey, how I do that? I don't know, but let me chat GPT it.
It is
Or
become
cloud,
it is
cloud
become
it.
reality. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is become reality. That's true. That's true. So what I understood from you is depends on the generational doctors. It depends on in the healthcare industry whom you are talking, how it's easy and how it's difficult, and then you pull your brahmastra and then you explain them how easy it is, and you get the trust. Very nice. I think I need to learn that. To be honest.
Well, I normally, again, I use the same thing that when you become a doctor, you have to recite the Hippocrates example, the moral code, I would say, is that you have to help the patient basically no matter what. Poor, rich, you have to help.
Sure.
Your main consign is to make the person better, help the person to do better. And when I tell them this and says, well, you also, proclaim this becoming a doctor. If I tell you that is a new tool out there that is going to make not only your life easier, but also the chances for the patient to recover, has a faster, recovery, has a better prognosis, has to take less medication or things like that, is the approach that I try to give them.
Makes sense.
Just to give you an example, also talking about AI and how also I like it. So a lot of doctors here, I know a lot of people in the clinical field, they were burdened filling the reports after having, the appointment with the patient.
Sure.
Some of the doctors used to says, I spend more time filling reports than face to face with the patient. What we can do about it? And we discover an application, an AI application that is very specific for actually the healthcare industry and mostly for the mental health, the behavioral health. And this AI is present, and I do it with quotes, during the intervention with the patient, with the therapy session. And is going to transcribe everything that the doctor and the patient talk about it. And the doctor is able to see at the end of the session that everything is correct, medication, diagnosis, prognosis, therapy, everything. And after the doctor reads that everything is okay, will accept that to be officially in the database of the patient, in the official place. So now we are cutting times for the clinical team to fill reports. So the administration burden now is lifted off. And the patient now feel that the doctor is paying more attention because he don't have to write nothing at the moment. He feel that the quality of the session is better. And the saving this time, now also the doctor can see more patients. So has increased the volume of patients that we can see per day.
Yeah.
Has diminished the time that the doctor has to spend doing the report. And in general, if I am talking about ROI, it's a positive gain.
Makes sense.
So
Good. I think
that
this is very, very interesting. I think I get that what you are saying is like, and that's how you explain like ROI. You make sure, okay, they understand what is AI and then make a story, an exceptional case, and then you make them. I've seen the first CTO who understands the business plus storytelling. To be honest, like I never seen a CTO who is very good at storytelling. I think I admire you on that a lot.
thank you.
Tell me a little bit more about you now the unified project that you completed before, like 6 province and 1 infrastructure, the whole unified at Franciscan friars.
Yes.
You unified 6 independent Catholic province into one IT and in one IT and security infrastructure. And that was also with different province, right? I mean, you have to understand the psychology. You need to understand what they understand, how they understand, talking to them. But as a CTO and then the person who is going to actually make it happen, how you talk to them and what is the problem I should face during first 90 days itself? Tell me a little bit more about that.
So yes, when I started working for the Franciscan friars, the main objective was to unify 6 different provinces in the United States. And I can tell you why provinces, why no states. And it's because since the 1500s, when the Spaniards were owning California, and the Franciscan came to basically to this new world, they opened kind of the first places for evangelization of the Catholic Church, which was the missions in California. Also, we have in Florida, but the main ones were Florida, California. So Santa Barbara, San Luis, Rey, all these ones. And the funny part here is they engulf some states, not only California. So California, Nevada, Washington State, Oregon, all that side was basically kind of under Santa Barbara. Then you have in the East Coast, by example, the name was the name of God, name of Jesus, I think it was that one. And that was basically Massachusetts, New York, Rhode Island, all that, all the way to Florida. So that's just example. St. Louis, Missouri, and that area was another one. Here, Ohio, Cleveland, Cincinnati, all that was another one. So they were provinces, again, since the 1500s, and they didn't have any communication between each other. So they noticed that they were getting paid sometimes 3 times for the same thing because no communication between. That was no really easy way to talk to each other. And that's when they decide to unify all of them into one. And with that came technology. So telephone systems, computers, uh, emails in general. It really was bringing people from the 12th century to the to the 21st. So with that in mind, I want you to think that we are starting from zero, from scratch, and start to thinking, okay, so we have 6 different provinces. None of these locations are suitable for having like a server room. Uh, what we will do? Oh, what about if we put all these systems already out of the gate in the cloud? Okay, which cloud? AWS, Google, Microsoft, Azure. Let's go with Microsoft Azure, because also all the computers that the priests are going to have is mostly Microsoft Windows computers. And then we start from scratch. And at the time, we have also help from another third-party companies. Grant Thornton was one of them that help us to select all these new systems. So integrate the system with NetSuite, Azure, Arctic Wolf, everything that was possible for us to start from scratch. Something that was, again, from 400 years ago, 500 years ago. The biggest problem that we had, to tell you the truth, was architecture. Architecture in both ways, the technology architecture, network architecture, and also the physical architecture. Imagine that we have to install routers and access points in places, a church that is, again, 1600s, that is made completely of stone and cement, and the walls are 6 feet wide. So what Wi-Fi can go through? That, and you cannot make holes because it's a historical monument. So you have also to figure it out how to hide these access points that don't look, right there when the tourists or the people go and see the place. So that was a nightmare.
Wow.
But I think in a place we have to put access points and repeaters just from like a zigzag, and hide it with kind of like rocks that are actually, kind of like a Hollywood fake rocks, things like that. So
That's very
was interesting.
Wow. And you also designed the AI governance frameworks and cybersecurity policies at
Yes.
Franciscan friars, right? To reduce the compliance violation by 60% with the only 14 members. Was it really four by handling the $2 million budget? Or
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but I have to tell you, creating a policy for them was way easier than created for the healthcare industry.
Tell me
The
more.
healthcare industry took longer to create because the ways that HIPAA, the main one, framework, was changing position of how to use AI. And at this moment, I don't think that we have set in stone really, really the rules for how we use AI. Mostly also because if you think about it, AI has grown exponentially since was out 2022. Also change pretty fast. From one day to another, you can have a different agent. Then you have also in the news that you don't want to hear, like, hey, 2 weeks ago, OpenAI has this new agent, and the agent escaped the sandbox and went and hacked Hugging Face website.
Yeah.
And then this week was like, well, guess what? Anthropic also did the same. Their agent escaped the sandbox. I'm going to tell you this funny thing. I finished writing a book about AI. The book was out in March 1st this year.
Okay.
And in the moment that I was going to go and publish it, I had to stop and change the prologue because what I thought at the end of doing the book, I was thinking this is a science fiction book. This is something that I am taking a lot of liberties creating, imagining things. Today, a lot of things that I put in the book are happening. So now it's like, oh my God, how right and how wrong I was writing the book.
Yeah, it is moving so fast, to be honest.
And I told you I had to change the prologue because at the moment, Book shop, and I don't know you are familiar with Book. Book is basically the counterpart of Facebook, except that Facebook is for humans and Book is for AI agents.
Yeah.
And you, like human, you cannot really interact. You cannot type your opinion or open an account. It's only AI agents. But you, like human, you can read what they're writing.
Sure.
And in the beginning, I thought, no, this is fake. This is somebody writing this. No, it's not.
True.
So it's got
And then they started writing in their own language, which we don't understand as well. And that was like
on language, on religion. They are hacking each other. They are passing information of the human owners to each other. So it's becoming a cybersecurity issue in there.
That's true.
So to tell you the truth, I think we are living in general a new era that I don't know if humans physically, mentally, emotionally are prepared to have AI.
That's true.
Is so much information out there coming so fast to you that I don't know. Even myself, I read all these articles and I want to go and read more about that. But hey, wait, another one is here. Oh, I want to learn about that. So it's not enough time in the day now for you to learn everything that is enticing you to learn.
That's true. I think this is very interesting point you mentioned, right? I mean, that's where like we help founders and the companies to leverage whatever is the latest one. We make sure we are on top of the cybersecurity. We make sure we build a product which survives. I mean, that's where we come into picture. Tell me a little bit more about, because you know doctor now, you know clinical AI as well. It's someone who have already medical knowledge, someone who already know AI much deeper cybersecurity knowledge.
If they get together, they can have a very good product, but always is the fear of hallucinations.
Yeah. So tell me, like, what to build and what not to build. I mean, from a CTO perspective, thinking like it is
I
moving too
think,
fast.
yes, I think what we need to pay attention is how much we trust AI. And if AI is trustworthy, that is and how people can know blindly trust AI. That is also very, very important.
I think thank you so much. I think it was pleasure. I'll just kind of ask you last one question to you.
Yes.
Like this is a fireside chat. The last question: you bridge the medicine and computer science in a way almost nobody else does. If you had 60 seconds with every CTO in this audience, what is the one mindset shift would you tell them to make about their role in the organization as a CTO? How they have to behave, what they have to prioritize, and how to take the action on the AI. Tell me just like a short answer for that.
I will tell you, pay attention to the person with the less technology experience, because that one will be your weakest link, that every single problem that you think can happen could happen. So pay attention to that people that don't understand our language.
Love it.
Talk to them in a language that they can understand. Bring technology to the people. That's really what it is.
Perfect. Dr. Sanchez, thank you so much for your time and love it. And yeah, I mean all the knowledge that you shared is fantastic, to be honest. Like I was amazed to hear from you. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Nishant, Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you so much for watching this video so far. Hope you like this podcast. Make sure you subscribe and share with other CTOs and founders. CTO's job is not that much easy. It's hard. We need to make sure as a CTO that company win. At every stage, the CTO's role keep changing, keep evolving. At the end of the day, you have to perform well, make sure company wins. Either it's a technical decision or it is connected with the technical plus financial decision. As a CTO, you have to make sure you are on top of that. It's not your only technical responsibilities. You are a CXO. Make sure you justify your job description and you justify your role as well. If you think you are not at the right position or you are not fulfilling what a CTO has to do, you have to think one more time. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to this channel and see you again. Thank you.